Hi, everyone. I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy. This is your weekly reading where we talk all about what's going on with the weekly vibes, the weekly energy, the energy that is impacting each and every one of us, what you're feeling in this energy, what you need to know about this energy so that you can make the most of it, so that you can have the best week possible. Because so many of you who watch these are sensitive to the energy. You feel it. It is already impacting you. It is already showing up in your life, in your world. And so this is a tool for you to understand what you're feeling and for you to be empowered in this energy. So first of all, let me know how you're doing. How are you guys feeling on the other side of this eclipse? How is it treating you? What's going on? How has this been showing up in your life? If you haven't been aware of what was going on in the energy, we closed out the eclipse portal, which is the energy that happens between two eclipses, with that solar eclipse that we had on Saturday on the 29th. So we have officially closed this out. Now, an eclipse cycle is a period of time where we are essentially picked up from where we are and put down essentially where it is that we need to be. And so this energy is going to still be playing out over about the next 6 months or so. So whatever needed to be shifted, whatever needed to be changed, whatever seeds needed to be planted, whatever steps needed to be taken in order to help you to show up as the best version of yourself on the best life path possible for you has been happening all during this time. But what do eclipses look like? They look like chaos. They look like stress and emotions and overwhelmment. And so I'm curious, have you guys been feeling all of that? They also include a lot of what I call ascension symptoms. So you might feel really exhausted because we're still, even though that happened on Saturday on the 29th, what's today? Today is the 1st. Happy April Fool's Day. So we are still very much in this energy, and you may still be feeling the intensity of this. So you might be feeling tired. I did a whole post about it on all of my platforms with a detailed list of ascension symptoms. So make sure that you check that out. But you might be feeling tired. You might have been feeling heart palpitations and feeling a lot of energy flowing through the body. You might have been experiencing a lot of emotion that's coming to the surface because it gives us an opportunity to feel it, to heal it. I talked a lot about that in the reading last week. You might be experiencing symptoms of spiritual ascension. So you might feel more intuitively connected. I know my meditations have been crazy. I've been having so much stuff come through. And so you might be finding a lot of those things happening, or you're just feeling more aware, more sensitive to energy, more sensitive to feeling other people's feelings and knowing what's going on for people, intuitively feeling what's going on for people. So that's by no means an extensive list, but you may be feeling all of that. And so be gentle with yourself, because I want to remind you, we are still in Venus retrograde and we are still in Mercury retrograde. In fact, I feel this energy as we're preparing to let that close out. We're going to close that out with Mercury coming out of retrograde on the 7th and Venus coming out of retrograde on the 12th. So we still have a little time with this, but I feel like it's ramping up here on the other side of the eclipses. So can you feel that? It is calling for us to work on our communications and things that we do need to communicate about, how we can be better communicators with one another. And I find during Mercury retrograde, we tend to have a lot of miscommunications with people. So you might have some stress coming up with that. You might have some challenges because it does tend to create a lot of chaos in its wake and a lot of challenges and difficulties that can come up. I would say with Mercury retrograde, it's stuff that's coming to the surface that we need to deal with, that we need to address, that we need to see. So I want you to notice what's coming up for you, even if you don't like it. A lot of the conversations that I've had today with people that I do private sessions with have been about old stuff coming to the surface that we need to deal with. And so that's Mercury retrograde, but that's also Venus retrograde. That's relationship stuff that's coming to the surface, whether that's your relationship with yourself, that's your relationship with other people, your relationship with money. So notice in these areas like where stuff is coming up for you. And it's always an opportunity for us to take a look at that and to figure out, how do I want to approach this differently as I move forward? But you might be feeling kind of stuck in the mud. You might be feeling like things are happening, but they're not really happening, or it's starting and then it's stopping, or you're just not quite feeling that momentum. While I do think that there are a lot of breakthroughs that are happening and surprises that are happening and blessings that are happening right now, I do also feel like this energy can feel very stuck in the mud and just kind of meh, or just kind of there right now. So let me know how you guys are feeling or what you're feeling. Say hello if you're watching live or if you're watching the replay. I always love to see you guys in comments and to see what's going on for you. Just say hi if you don't want to share anything personal, or share your favorite emoji, or whatever it is that you want to do. If you're watching this on my YouTube, please hit that subscribe button so that you can catch all the videos that I share here on this channel. But this is a time for us to look back. And I called this video something like that, one last look back, because that's what this energy this week feels like, is really calling for us to reflect back on the past, not for us to go backwards. In fact, I really want to discourage you from going backwards unless something is coming up, whether that's an opportunity, a relationship, something that's coming back from the past. You really want to make sure that that is aligned for you now, or that that person has worked on themselves at the level that you have worked on yourself, that there's been a real shift or change in order to allow for this to be aligned. And in most cases, I don't think that that's going to be the case. I think that it's more people from the past are coming up, situations from the past are coming up, not so that we can go backwards, but so that we can heal it, so that we can take one last look at that, so that we can provide ourselves with closure. Or maybe somebody is popping up, maybe somebody is coming back in to allow us to have closure. Maybe we need to see how bad a situation really was or is, or how bad or toxic a relationship really was, in order to realize that we can give ourselves closure on that now. So I think that there's a lot of closure that's happening right now. And we're in this process of reviewing and reflecting and recharging also. So we tend to do all of the re's during these retrogrades. So recharging is going to be really important, this energy as well, making sure that you're taking really good care of you, making sure that you are not pushing yourself too hard, that you're being kind with yourself, because there is a lot that's coming to the surface. And I think a lot of it is also coming to the surface because it's happening to allow ourselves to move forward in a way that is going to have more clarity moving forward. It's giving us an opportunity for a karmic clearing. It's almost like we're wiping the slate clean, in a sense, with some things. And so you might even be surprised by what's coming up for you. You might be like, I thought I dealt with that, or I'm surprised that's even an issue. I'm surprised I even have feelings around that. But honor whatever is coming up for you, because I think that these are important opportunities for breakthroughs. And I think with breakthroughs, we're going to see surprises that are coming up, happy circumstances that are coming up. I also feel like we're in a place, a lot of people are in a place where they're at an important crossroads. And this crossroads might be you're making decisions about your life. You might be deciding, okay, where am I going to go next? I know a lot of people are in places where there's a lot of areas of their life that they're feeling unsure about, or they're not clear about where the path is going. And hang tight, because I think that we're going to have more clarity on the other side of these retrogrades. Maybe not right away, but over time. So be patient with yourself and let it unfold. But also notice, how is the path unfolding? What blessings are happening for you? What is showing up in your life that you are grateful for, that you want more of? And what is showing up in your life that you're recognizing I don't want to continue down that path anymore, or that path is no longer the right path for me. So paying attention to that. So you might be at an important crossroads in your life where you're making big decisions for yourself in a lot of different areas of your life, or maybe one area of your life. But I also feel like an important crossroads that people are feeling in this energy is these internal shifts. It's this decision to not continue to think in the same way, or to perceive things in the same way, or to allow things to occupy our minds in the same way. It's like we're setting mental boundaries. It's like we're saying, you know what? I don't want to continue to give so much of my thought, my energy, my focus to these things, because it's not serving me anymore. And so the crossroads may be that you're thinking about choosing to take another path with your thoughts. You're wanting to choose better feeling thoughts that are helpful and supportive of the future that you want to create, instead of being caught up in the momentary drama or the momentary issues that are very, very present that's happening. And this stuff is coming up for us to kind of, I think, in a lot of ways, help us to see where we are holding ourselves back, where we are entertaining thoughts or focusing on things that just don't matter. Life is short, and I think part of the message is like, how do I want to live my life, instead of how do I want to prevent myself? How do I want to hold myself back anymore? I think we're asking, where am I holding myself back? Where are my thoughts holding myself back? Where am I too focused on things that just don't matter? Maybe you're caught up in stuff. I think a lot of this energy right now is getting caught up in stuff that a week from now, a month from now, isn't going to matter. And so let the clarity come when it comes, but also set some boundaries with that. And also take this opportunity to take charge over your own thoughts and thinking, and see where that leads you, see where that's going to go. So how is this stuff showing up for you guys? Let me know. I'm going to start to shuffle the cards, and we will talk about the cards. We're going to build on the messages. I'm seeing that Fool card as I am splitting the deck. So I'm curious, are you thinking about new beginnings? What new beginnings? Because on the other side of eclipses and on the other side of retrogrades, we have new beginnings, and we have had new beginnings that are unfolding. So also, and I've been saying this message for the past few months, but where are we feeling called to lean into some things, to some blessings that have been coming in? I think a lot of where people have been really stuck mentally, or are needing those internal shifts, is a willingness to lean into the joy, into the happiness, into the blessings that have come in. And it's almost like this fear of, when is the other shoe going to drop? When is this going to go badly? When is the past going to repeat itself? And I want you to remember, we're in a new era. The past doesn't have to repeat itself, because you've worked really hard to change yourself, to better yourself, to learn from the past. I feel like with the lessons that we're learning right now, it's like the mastery of some of the lessons that we've been learning, and we can either choose to learn it the hard way or the easy way. So the easy way is to do it differently, to choose to stop repeating the cycle. And I know, like, sometimes that's not always the easy way, but it also is. And so making sure that we are choosing better for ourselves. And it's easy because the circumstances that will surround that will be easier. And then the hard way is to keep doing it the way that you've been doing it, because this energy has been calling for us to change, calling us for us to live differently, to lean into better, to allow ourselves to experience better, and to choose to be excited about life again, to be hopeful about life again. And that can be a very vulnerable, scary thing for people to do, but the invitation is there if you choose to take it. So let's take a look at the cards. So the first card out, the Chariot card. The Chariot card. So this says to me, we're moving forward, right? The Chariot card is sometimes meant to represent a car. So yes, are we checking that rear view mirror one last time? Are we looking back one last time so that we can move forward with peace? Absolutely. But then we are full speed ahead moving forward. What in your life do you want to move forward with? What are you excited about? What do you want to take to the next level? This is really important because whatever you're focusing on is going to move forward quickly on the other side of this energy. Will you insist on controlling the journey, or will you let God lead you on the best journey, the best path for you? Because if you're fighting this energy, if you are trying to control it, it's not going to work very well. Renee's saying, yes, I had to redirect myself to not get attached to outcomes, to flow and allow that I can't control the outcome. Yeah, that's exactly this. It's like, you can't. I mean, we do have control over some things, but the truth of the matter is you don't really have control over much. And so, but you do have control over yourself, and you do have control over allowing yourself to not get too attached to an outcome, to choose flow over control as often as you possibly can. You're not going to be perfect at it, but try anyway. Keep trying. Let yourself go with the flow. Let yourself think to yourself, maybe this path that I'm being led down is what's best for me, or is the answer to the prayers that I've been putting out there for years. You just may not see it yet, but you can feel it. Your intuition can feel if you're being led in the right direction. Keep letting that intuition lead you down that path. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. I feel like this is blessings that are just sitting there waiting. And they're waiting for us to take that one last look back and to do this little bit of leftover work, to look at our leftovers in our life and where we're dealing with leftovers, and to take care of them, whether we throw them in the trash, whether we eat them, whatever we're going to do with them, right? But how are we going to deal with the leftovers? And as we're choosing to deal with the leftovers, and as we're choosing to learn the lessons that have been put in front of us, hopefully we're choosing and responding to these lessons in a way that allows us to level up, so that this card gets to be flipped upright, so that we get to move forward into a time where we feel more fortunate, where we feel like, wow, everything really is working out for me. And I recommend that you guys use that mindset. Everything is always working out for me. That's one of my favorite things to say. I say it all the time. Or I've been talking as well about asking God, the universe, to show me how good it can be. Show me how good it can be. Show me how good it can get. Show me what amazing things can happen for me. Show me how good it can get. And I think that as we lean more into this and we let ourselves be more hopeful and more excited, there's a real shift in the energy. So again, it doesn't have to look the same as the challenges of the past. And maybe part of the crossroads is just in choosing to take the path that feels good, that we feel excited about, but that makes us feel more vulnerable. The next card, the Star card. So the Star card is, I got to cover this for YouTube, sorry. The Star card is us finding ourselves on the other side of this healed, using this energy as an opportunity to heal, to release, to let go. The past isn't coming up for you. These things aren't coming up for you. These challenges aren't coming up for you to punish you. They're an opportunity for you to receive a karmic clearing, to release some things, to cry your eyes out so that you can release all of the emotion that you've been storing in the body, to feel angry and to do something healthy and productive with that anger so that you have cleared that out of your system, so that you're not carrying that somatically in the body. There's so many ways that this is allowing us to heal. Maybe it's bringing you to a place where you have conversations that have been too hard for you to have before, but now you're so uncomfortable, you just need to have that conversation. But the thing about the Star is, like, when we get to that place where we've healed something, there's always that blessing. There's always that wish fulfillment that comes with that. Because we've allowed ourselves to shift into the vibration that we needed to shift into in order to allow it to manifest. So, in the simplest of terms, when you get yourself to a place where you feel good, you manifest good things. That's what I'm talking about here. And so this is part of the pathway to getting us to where we feel good. And how do we feel good? We have to go through our shadows. We have to go into the work sometimes. And I know I get it. We've been doing a lot of work. And so I can even hear it in my own head, like, but I'm sick of the work. But also, I had this conversation with somebody in a session today, and she was talking about the next life, I'm going to come back and it's going to be easy and I'm going to have all of this money and I'm going to have the perfect family and everything's going to be perfect. And I said, okay, let's take a minute and think about that. If that was the path that you chose before you came here, that would be an experience, right? And it's certainly an experience that we can choose to have. And on a human level, that might feel really great. But on a soul level, do we feel like the path that you're on now or this path that you're talking about, which of those paths do we think is going to help elevate your soul? Which of those paths is going to help teach you and help you to grow? Which of those paths are you going to be able to pull from to help other people? Which of those paths is going to help give you the tools and the skills to navigate whatever life is going to throw at you? Probably not the perfect path, right? And so there's a lot of things that we have developed within us through these experiences. And now we get to work on healing that and taking that to the next level. So it doesn't have the same harmful, challenging impact that it maybe once did. And you may find that already some things don't. Already some things are lighter for you, but you also may find over the course of this week or so that a lot is really coming up. I feel like it's just really being stirred up so that we can take that one last look back and reflect and take care of what we need to take care of so that we can move forward in our lives. Moon card in reverse. Through a lack of clarity, we will find clarity. So I will say that again, through a lack of clarity, we will find clarity because we are confused. It is cloudy. We are unsure, but it's like through that process, I think we're actually learning how to surrender more. And as we surrender more, the answers will just naturally float to the surface. So if you're trying to force clarity, if you're trying to force an answer, it's going to make it that much harder for the answer to come. So put it out to the universe. Say, universe, God, show me the way with this. And then you let it go and you let that answer come when the answer wants to come. And let yourself find flow and peace with not knowing the answers. Because if you think that you're ever going to know all of the answers, you never will, right? I've found on the spiritual journey that every question leads to answers, but all of those answers just lead to more questions. But I think this is part of what we're here to do. And isn't it fun to uncover more questions and to uncover more things that we intended for ourselves to learn and that we're wanting to learn here in this life? And so can we let it be fun and understand that we're not always going to have all of those answers? Next card up, we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. So this is a warning. Be careful with this. Be careful where you are focused on lack, especially this week. Be careful where you're focusing on what's not working for you, what's not going well, what you don't have. Instead, I want to invite you to focus on what it is that you do have. And that's harder in this energy because you're going to want to get into this, woe is me, I don't have, this hasn't happened for me yet. Why hasn't this happened for me? I don't even like to speak it out loud because it doesn't feel good. So instead, tell me about what you have. Put something in the comments, something that you're grateful for, something that you have, something that does make you feel fulfilled in your life, something that you feel grateful for, that you feel lucky for. So focus on being that lucky girl or that lucky guy, even if you don't believe it. Let yourself be into that place and feel what you need to feel and do the work, but then come back and just think, man, am I so lucky? everything is always working out for me. Whether you believe it or not, but keep coming back to that energy and finding things that truly make you feel lucky, because that's going to create more of that luck for you in your life. And the last card is the Two of Cups. So I think for some, that relationships may be elevating to a new level over the course of this week, or maybe even over the course of this month, over the course of April. So for some people, you may be finding through this Venus retrograde, which is very relationship oriented, that you are ready to lean into that more, that you are ready to take that to the next level. That might be the crossroads that you're looking at. I also feel like this is about finding the things that we need here in this world. Finding the things that we maybe didn't even know were missing in our lives. Like, it's just like this feeling of something is missing. I'm needing something. And I think over the course of this week and this month, we're going to find that some of those things are coming into our experience. And what I want you to do is I want you to allow the blessings that are wanting to come in, even if it's scary for you, even if you doubt it, right? But your intuition is saying, this is what's right for you. This is what you need. This is what you've been praying for, and you didn't even realize what you're praying for. So I feel like a lot of this is going to be answered prayers in ways that we're not expecting, or answered prayers for things that we didn't even know we were looking for. We're over here praying for this, but really what we were needing is this, and God is answering that prayer. So I'm going to be really curious about the blessings that come in for you guys this week. Please let me know. Please reach out. I love to hear those messages. And by the way, that helps to support that energy of abundance, of prosperity, versus that energy of lack, is by talking about the good things that are happening, the blessings that are coming in. I've gotten a lot more text over the past couple of weeks, less about what's going wrong in people's lives and more about, this is the blessing that's happening for me. Or I decided to go with the flow, and here's the cool thing that happened because I just let it go, because I just surrendered it. Because in this energy, flow and surrender as best you can are going to serve you very, very well. So I hope that these messages resonate with you. Let me know if they do. If they don't, if you're feeling any of this yet, let me know when that's coming in for you, what you're wanting to create here in this energy, what you're hoping to heal. I always love to hear from you guys in comments, or just say hello. So thank you so much for tuning in. If these messages do resonate with you, please hit that like button. Please share these messages. Please share this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube if you haven't already. All of that helps to get these messages where they need to be for people to receive them when they're having a hard time in these energies. So thank you all so much. I love you so much. I'm sending you so much light as we wrap up these retrogrades and we do this last little bit of work as we're getting closer to the 7th and the 12th. So we're getting there. We are almost there. Hang in there. I love you all. Take care.